Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm making delicious garlic bread. I'm using sub rolls today. I'm making a garlic oil and I'm using 2 cheeses. So this is the final result and I try to please everybody. Some are toasted, some are not so toasted and are gooier. So you can do it any way that you want. So today I'm making the garlic bread with sub rolls, as I said, but you can use Italian bread as well. So it's very easy to make. I start first by having the garlic bread on a sheet pan with tin foil, and then I'm starting there with 1 head of garlic and half a cup of parsley, Italian parsley. I don't like the curly parsley. If that's all you have on hand, don't stop yourself from making this because of it, but flat leaf Italian parsley is the best. So the first thing I do is that I put it in the food processor and I let it go for a few seconds. Make sure that it's ground up, that it's ready to go, and then after that I'm going to add half a cup of olive oil. And you want a paste. It's not really oil consistency, it's more a paste because the olive oil combines with the garlic and makes a delicious paste that you put on bread. And then that goes in the oven first. Then after that, it's been cooking for a bit. You add the cheeses and it's so delicious. It's so comforting. So now I'm adding half a cup of olive oil there. And this is something that you need to pay attention to, the measurements. Usually I don't say that for cooking, it's more for baking that you need to pay attention to measurements, but since you're making a paste here, you want it to be the right consistency so that it spreads on your bread easily. But you can always adjust this. If you put it in the food processor and you see that it's a little too thick, add a little more oil. You can add more garlic or more parsley, but these these measurements that I'm giving you are easy to know that you're going to come out with the right results. So that's why I always put in my recipes, if you can see in the description box, I have exact measurements, even for salt and pepper. That's what I do. There is no salt in this recipe. I don't usually add pepper to my garlic bread, but you can, just because that's how I grew up doing it. It's without pepper, but you can always add some black pepper on top or even red pepper flakes. So I'm transferring it to a glass bowl there because that makes it easier to transfer it to the bread with a smaller spoon. So that's what I'm doing there, and I just set the bread aside. These sub rolls came already split, but you can also use a loaf of Italian bread, and this amount of garlic oil would be enough for 1 loaf of Italian bread as well. So I'm just covering the bread with the garlic oil mixture, and it is so delicious and it smells so good already. It hasn't even been in the oven, but you can already smell the garlic and the parsley together. And then after you add the cheese and it goes in the oven, your whole house is going to smell heavenly. Even if you're not Italian, if you want your house to smell good for your guests, make some garlic bread. And you can use this as an appetizer. I've done that before. I just slice it up into actual slices and serve it with drinks, and people love it because it's so unexpected. It really is. Usually you have this with an Italian meal with a side of pasta, and if you're used to my channel, you know that I make a lot of Italian meals just because that's what I grew up eating and that's what I love. But here's what I do. I close up the bread, I put the halves together, and then I make a package out of the aluminum foil, and that goes into a 400-degree oven for 10 minutes. So you need to have your oven preheated, put it in there, and then just 10 minutes is enough to warm up the bread. And now it's been 10 minutes, so I'm opening it up, and be careful if you're going to do this with hands like that. You see I touched the pan a little bit and I kind of got burned, but it wasn't too bad. It's just what happens in the kitchen. I'm used to it. So open it up, have all of the halves facing you, and then I'm putting some mozzarella cheese on it. So the mozzarella, it's going to get really gooey and delicious, which is at least what I like in garlic bread. You could maybe not add the mozzarella if you're lactose intolerant, but it really adds something to it. Unfortunately, I have to say. You can have garlic bread with just the garlic oil, and maybe use lactose-free cheese. That's an option as well. But add your mozzarella and then Parmesan cheese. I like to cover it with Parmesan cheese as well. So there are different ways to make this garlic bread. And some people don't like cheese. I've never met those people, but I've heard that they exist. So, so you're going to put it back in the oven now without covering it up, because you want to brown the cheese. So that goes back into a 400-degree oven for another 10 minutes. And this is the final result. As I said, some of them are less brown because people in my family like it like that, and they like it gooier. I like mine pretty toasty, so that's why you see the difference there. And I'm serving it with a tomato salad, and I love to make these dishes. It's so quick. This, even as a snack, is a great snack. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you make this for your family, and thank you for being here.